What's up, guys? Out in my garage today with something a little different today. I'm typically a brushless guy, lipo guy, but I got a two-stroke here I want to fire up for the first time. I haven't touched anything like this in years. Used to be into nitro, back in the 90s, and everything went brushless after that. But I get a two-stroke Losi DBXL fifth scale buggy. It does require some a weird fuel mixture. Typically, chainsaw leaf blower is like 40 to 1. This says 25 to 1. So we're going to mix it up 25 to 1. I'll kind of show you how a quick, easy way to do that, because I don't want to fill the tank. I don't want to mix a couple of gallons. I just want to run it real quick to break in the engine. So I'm going to do about 500 milliliters of gas, which is going to get us about 20 milliliters of oil. We'll mix it up and see if we can get this thing started for the first time. All right, so you can see we got 500 milliliters of gasoline, 20 milliliters of two-stroke oil. I'm using the Dynamite two-stroke synthetic that it came with. And we're gonna mix that up. So what I like to do here is maybe pour a little gas into the oil, dilute it a little bit and make so it mixes better. Okay. Normally I do this by the gallons in my gas can. Like I said, this is a unique mixture that nothing else I have uses it. So eventually I'm going to get a gas can that's specific for this vehicle. But until then, I'm just going to mix it up as needed. Let's see, I still get a little oil in there. I'm trying to be as precise as I can because I'm breaking in this engine. So we'll just go back with a little more gas until we get all the oil out of the cup. So this is 25 to 1, so it's 500 milliliters of gas to 20 milliliters of oil. That's probably pretty good right there. Let it drip out. And then nothing fancy, yeah, I think that's good enough. Nothing fancy here. I'm just gonna pour it into the car using a funnel. Get the gas cap off, and let's see, get that at a good angle. And we're just gonna pour that right into the gas tank. This should give me about, I want to say 3/4 of a tank. If I remember correctly, I read this has a 750 milliliter tank, and I'm putting 500 milliliters of fuel in it. And you know what? That looks about it. That's about 3/4 of the tank. Should be enough for to get it started, and just blast around real quick to do the quick break-in. You don't really want to go too much wide open throttle on the break-in. Just kind of rev it up and then let it cool off. Do that a few times. That should be enough. We're going to go ahead and pop the receiver battery in shortly, and we'll see if we can get it started. Maybe make a laughing stock of myself yanking this thing 30 times today. All right, just got all 12, I think, counted body clips off this thing. To get the body off so I can get to the receiver box, which is here. Surprisingly, a small receiver box. Also, it had 2 body clips to hold the receiver box on. I was kind of hoping to throw a 2S LiPo in there instead, maybe solder a Dean's connector on it, but unfortunately that box is way too small for anything other than like a 1/16 eRevo battery, which I do have a 2S one around. I'll have to see if I want to do that, but in the interim, it did come with this 1700 milliamp hour NIM battery. You're probably only going to get 1, maybe 2 runs at most before you have to charge it. But we'll use this for the break-in, and then I'll decide what I want to do for additional batteries after the fact. And it looks like this is a standard receiver battery connector. Like I said, I may solder a Dean's or something onto that to make it a little more universal, and see what I can find to fit in this tray here. Picked it up. That receiver box is even small for that battery. That's a snug fit, and it's probably by design so the battery doesn't move around a lot, but yeah, there's not a lot of room in there. But let's go ahead and get this box together. I haven't fired up I haven't even turned it on yet. Sorry about that. There we go. Get the receiver here. Receiver's on. Hit the power switch on the car. I get steering. And let's see, do we have throttle? Forward throttle, we got brakes. So the question is, bear with me, do the brakes work? Before we get this thing moving, we want to make sure the brakes work. So I don't want to start this car up and then find out the brakes don't work. So we're going to give it a, yeah. Try that one more time. Brakes work good. All right, I got this thing up against a tree, as you can see, just because in case it starts and takes off, it has nowhere to go. So it's kind of a safety precaution. So we want to pump this primer bubble here until we get some gas on the carb. It might take a few. There we go. There we go. We got gas on the line, gas on the bubble. We got steering, throttle. I think we're ready to start. See what happens here. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that was the choke. That's why. Popped. Now take it off choke. Let it idle for a minute and warm up. I haven't touched two-stroke or nitro and for RC cars in a long time. So this is new, or returning. All right. Give it a little bit longer to warm up. All right, I think we're ready to go here. Steering trim is way off. That should be a little better. Brakes work good. Try not to dig up my neighbor's yard. You know, trying to avoid open throttle. Starting to get a little better. Once it gets really warmed up, it'll open up a little. Yeah. Actually, even now it's getting a little better. Trying to avoid going on people's lawns. This thing has a top speed, I think, out of the box of about 42 miles per hour. I don't think we're getting much over 25, but I'm not going wide open throttle at all. Oop. I don't know if I can recover from that without, yeah. Oh, I guess I can. Not bad. I'm gonna have fun with this thing. It's got a really wide turning radius. Oh, a little drifting. Let's see if it's feeling any better now. The engine feels better. Got a throttle response already. Oh yeah. Oh, much better. Oh yeah. Little water spray. Oh, I'm saying I don't know if I can make that, but I'm gonna try. No. In the bush. Yeah, oh yeah, I can back out. There we go. I hate not having reverse though. That's my yard. Nice. I can't wait to really wail on this thing. Whoa, tumble-wumble. All right. Not bad. Not bad. Running good now. All right, so it looks like I've used most of the fuel in the tank. So I think it's time to call it quits here. I think it's well broken in, it's running good. Yeah, towards the end, this thing was really ripping. I think the engine broke in pretty nicely. Still, like I said, I'm gonna do another tank where I won't do too much wide open throttle. And then after that, I'm gonna send it. Let me know what you think. This I was excited to get this thing started for the first time. I mean, it dwarfs my X-Max, and you know, the coolness factor of the two-stroke engine is just, I mean, it's wild. I mean, you know, brushless is more powerful, it's faster, but the two-stroke has kind of a coolness factor to it that you can't replicate. Let me know what you think, guys.